Hello and thanks for watching Two Guys One Game. My name is Major Frazier, but as always, you can call me AJ.
My name is Caboose, but you can call me Connor sometimes.
And this week we're taking a look at the game The Suicide of Rachel Foster, which we got on Steam. Quick trigger warning at the front of this one. This game is a little triggering, especially on things like suicide and surprisingly pedophilia. So if you we're going to talk about those concepts as they come up in the game quite frequently. So if you don't like that, maybe be ready or don't watch this one or watch the review or read it. I don't know. Ask a friend to watch it for you, let you know if it's okay, and then come back to
Yeah,
it.
friends are always beneficial to watch for you.
Just make sure you get like a view in the view count for us. The Suicide of Rachel Foster is a walking simulator, is the best way to kind of describe this game. We'll get into the meat of the gameplay as we talk about it, but the base of this story is you play as... I cannot remember her name.
Nicole.
Nicole. You play as Nicole. Nicole's mother has just passed away, and she has been left a hotel that her mother got from her father after her father died, but her mother and father got a divorce. So Nicole's mom didn't want to do anything with this hotel after the father died because their dad was kind of a scummy guy, as we find out throughout the game. So when Claire dies, Nicole's mom, Nicole has to go take care of this hotel, and Nicole just decides that the best way to handle this is to just get everything in order and then sell it. Well, lo and behold, when you go up there to get everything in order, a massive blizzard moves in and you wind up being stranded in the hotel with no one else. Nobody can get to you except for there's a man on the other end of a cell phone walkie-talkie named Irving. Irving is a park ranger that has offered to help you, but really he's just the voice on the other end of the line to make sure that you aren't walking around in total silence in this game. At the end of the day, you solve a mystery, and you feel good about solving the mystery, is the intention of the producers of this game, I assume. It didn't, for me anyways, translate all that well into reward from gameplay. I don't know about you, Connor.
Yeah, the gameplay itself, the story at the end wasn't very satisfying for me. There were a couple notes with the story that I had, which I think I'm probably going to go into now. I thought the opening was really good. There were parts with like the funeral. You go to your father's funeral or your mother's funeral in the beginning, which I still don't know if it's your mother or your father's funeral. They both kind of die at the same time in this game. So
they're both firmly dead.
Yeah. So you're at the funeral and you're reading a note, and it's cool because you have like the rain, and they did the whole top down thing. It was really awesome, and then the tears on the letter is really cool as well. Also, I really did enjoy how much story there was. Like there was a lot to do, like going around, but it just felt like there were a lot of plot holes in the game that I didn't end up doing. You know, like there was a whole room which I feel like is like the scariest part of the whole game for me, that you walk into and you see it and they really don't explain it at all. They don't give you any sort of feeler for what it is. And like my story that I was trying to build as I'm playing this game, because you don't really get a lot of clues, was that I thought Rachel was still alive, that she didn't actually kill herself, or that somehow she was brought back to life, or there was a ghost or something.
Oh,
that's not the case. You don't get that kind of that sort of like, there's just plot holes all over the place, I feel like, in this story.
A quick plot hole in our review is I don't think I mentioned the Rachel Foster aspect of this story at all. Leonard, who is Nicole's dad, the character that you play as, the reason that Leonard and Claire got divorced was because Leonard had started a relationship way long ago, back when Nicole was in high school, with a girl that was the same age as Nicole. That relationship blew up and caused Leonard and Claire to get the divorce that they did get. So the entire time you're kind of trying to solve the mystery of what happened to Rachel Foster, as there's ideas about why she wound up killing herself and what actually happened with this relationship. So that's the mystery you're attempting to solve.
That is the mystery that you're attempting to solve, and I feel like you get a really good, I mean, by the end of it, you get a really good fleshed out version of what happened for sure, but I feel like a lot of that too comes at the back end. Like in the last 15 minutes of the game, you get the whole story. You're left guessing up until not even the last 15 minutes, the last 5 minutes of the game, you get the whole story. It's just it just seems like they had a really cool design, and they had a great map too. Something I should really harken on is how great this hotel is that they built. You can tell that they put a lot of time in it, but there's no reward for exploring. There's a lot of like little Easter eggs, but you don't get any rewards for picking stuff up, looking at things. You don't even get a quip from Nicole saying something about all of these books in her father's apartment that you can pick up, and you can look at every single one of them, but it doesn't do a damn thing. So
Which
it
is so
it
enraging
feels like
because
there's
at the
absolutely no reward.
Yeah, and at the beginning of the game, they tell
Yep.
you, please interact with everything. It will make everything
Yep.
make sense. And I
Yep.
clicked on everything in that game, and it didn't make any sense until they
Yeah,
told
it didn't
me.
bring any more sense until the very end, which is a little like lackluster, but I mean it did give me some sort of the mystery involved. I did have a lot of different theories going into it. Thought there was a ghost, thought there was a Frankenstein's monster situation going on, but I was completely wrong. The last thing I want to touch on, the story, and something I think you had to talk about, was the fact that it really put me off at the end because it doesn't really put down Leonard for being a pedophile.
Yeah.
There's no point. In fact, it almost seems to glorify it at parts, and I'm not comfortable with that part of the game, but I can still push through and play it. It's just it's almost sad
Yeah.
at the end, knowing that the dad kind of doesn't really get his just deserves or anything like that.
No, at the end of this game, he is A-okay in the eyes of the game, the people telling the story almost, and it's like, oh, but he did have sexual relations with a child. Like that, you're not okay. To kind of build off of your idea of like the story at times is very flushed out. There are times where this game has me very emotionally invested. Like I am angry that it glorifies pedophilia. One time that I felt the strongest like emotional response, like a point where I almost got up and stopped playing the game, is this dream sequence that you have in the middle of the game. You're sleeping in like day 3 of this blizzard. You're trapped in a hotel alone, and you have this dream. And I just need you to remember that your name is Nicole, and the voice that's talking to you is your father. So watch.
I can't see you.
You came back in the end. It's like the inescapability of a celestial body's revolution. We can't help but follow certain stars' brightness, even if those stars have died millions of years ago.
Is it you? For real? Are you real?
Their light is alive, and it reaches us. And those stars are alive and dead at the same time.
Daddy, where did you go? I missed you so much.
Listen, sweet pea. My sweetheart. Listen to my voice. It's important.
I can't see you. Where are you? Where are you?
You know how much I love you.
I know, Daddy. I've always known it. I love you too. Say it again, please.
I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Rachel, 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 Rachel.
Yeah, that clip is just really weird. I don't really enjoy the dream sequence all that much. I still, honestly, don't understand the point of the dream sequence. I don't understand the gash in the snow. The only thing that I really follow with in that entire thing is the dad speaking. Like, that's the only part I really understand with the story, I would say.
Yep. And then the walking idea. There's not a lot in this dream sequence because there's not a lot of gameplay in the game at all, which is what I wanted to focus on. The fact that while I did sign up for a walking simulator, this is the walkiest walking simulator I've ever played.
Yeah, even your run is just like a brisker walk.
Yep. Which, fine, but what confuses me is they give you some of the coolest tools for the environment Connor mentioned how this hotel is this big creepy place that you want to explore all of, and they halfway through the game you get like ghost hunting tools, and you don't use them at all. Like that.
Yep.
There's
One feature that I was kind of excited to get scared at was the camera flash that
yep.
you just never get to use.
Yep. It has its moments. Each tool is used at least once, but only once. Which really sucks butts, because you get this cool parabolic microphone with this reflection in the background, and the entire time I wanted to like turn a corner and then have Rachel Foster's ghost standing behind me in the reflection of the parabolic mic. That never pays off, and I just look like an idiot walking around with that thing out the entire second half of the game.
It's funny because by the time I got to that point in the game, I had already given up and didn't even notice the reflection. I just wanted to get done with it.
It was just nose down, power through this walking simulator. Left foot, right foot.
Holding shift and going probably what normal walking would be in any other game. I feel like I broke my keyboard.
So, I guess that's a good way to transfer to the actual review portion of this game. Connor, for $17.99, is it worth it on Steam?
No.
What would you pay?
Absolutely not. I think we even got this on sale for $12.
Probably.
I would probably pay $5.99 for this. It is, I mean, at most maybe $7.99. I would pay for this game. It is short, sweet, to the point. The story is not very appetizing for some people, but it is still that much worth of game. It is still $7.99, excuse me, worth of game to me.
I see that, and I see $7.99 worth of effort put in there, and I agree with you. I have to say 0 because of the pedophilia aspect of this game. Like, at the end of the day, as producers of the game, why do you feel like this game needs to be made? I would pay $7.99 for a different game, like Luigi's Mansion style, set in this environment. That would be dope.
Yep.
Let's hunt ghosts.
That would be cool.
But other than that, unfortunately, the suicide for Rachel. Wow. But other than that, unfortunately, the suicide of Rachel Foster is not a winner in my book, and I think Connor agrees.
Yeah, I agree. I just feel like it was kind of lacking. I mean, honestly, it feels like they got like halfway done with the game and pushed it out like too early. And like the bad part about it is I wish there were updates coming up, but like I wouldn't even play the game if they did update it because I already know what happens and I don't like what happens.
Well, I don't think I have anything more to add. So until next week, thank you for watching. My name is Major Fraser.
My name is Caboose.
And I hope that you have a very, very good life. And I'm going to end every video like that from now on.
Well, I hope you have a good life.